Hi guys, it's Lillian from the Postmodern family, and here's my special edition baby names for girls and boys. 5 girl names, 5 boy names that I like, but I won't be using. I hope you enjoyed this special. I figured I would do a little bit of a list of names for boys and girls that I like but I won't be using because I don't want you to steal my name. Although I don't think anyone's gonna steal the name that we plan on having. This is actually the first time that we have actually decided on a girl name and a boy name. Whereas last time with our first child, we didn't have a name for a boy. Like, boys' names are so hard. I really like really unique names. At the same time, I like old names, like traditional names that people have heard of but aren't being used today. So for example, my name, Lillian, is quite a unique name for my generation. When I was growing up, no one in my school district had the name Lillian, and but it was easy because people knew what it was. They have heard of it a lot. I would get a lot of comments like, my grandmother's name is Lillian. And so I really like those kinds of names that are older or possibly foreign that people have heard of but aren't so common that there's going to be a lot of other peers with that same name. So I think that gets confusing. When I started school, there was a William in my class. They would be calling William or scolding William, and I'd be like, what? So I just don't like that feeling of having the same name in a group of your peers. So I've got 5 girl names and 5 boy names for you that I really like, but we're not going to use. I really like the name Anastasia. Now, the way you pronounce it would be different. In fact, I would like it in a Spanish pronunciation, so Anastasia. I like the way it flows. And then you can also, for nicknames, call the girls Stacy, Stasia, Anna. So there's a lot of nickname options. Alright, I also like the name Vivian. I don't know why, but when I grew up, I wanted to be a Vivian. I thought Lillian was okay, but I thought Vivian was like really cool. I thought Vivian was so unique, and I didn't know any Vivians except this one friend of my mom's who has this long white hair. Just all of it was white naturally, but long. And I thought she was beautiful, and I thought, that's a great name, Vivian. Let's go to the third name for girl that I like but we're not going to use. The name LIANA. And I love the way it sounds. LIANA, it just, I don't even know if it's a real name. I may have made it up a long time ago. I don't know anybody named LIANA, but it's spelled L-I-A-N-A. And the only reason why we can't use it is it's too close to my name, right? Lillian, Liana, it's just too close. The fourth name that I've got here is Penelope. It's such a pretty name, isn't it? Penelope. There are more Penelopes out there, I think, than the other ones that I've mentioned. My husband is from Nicaragua, so it's just got that feel to it, and obviously all of his family would have no trouble pronouncing it. And then the last name I've got on my 5 girls' names that I like but won't be using is Josephine. Isn't that beautiful? I feel like it's a nice older name that's not really being used today. Now, boy names, much harder. I had trouble even thinking of 5 that I like but won't be using because the ones that we really like, I'm not telling you. The first boy name that I like but we probably won't be using is Marcello. It's obviously an Italian sounding name, Marcello, and it would be spelled M-A-R-C-E-L-L-O, and I would just love to call him, like nickname him Cello. Like, isn't that cool? Like cello, you know, the instrument. So that's what I really like about the name. I feel like it's a strong name. It's got that strong Marcello in there, the ch. The second name I like, but we won't use because my husband doesn't seem to like it, is Hezekiah. And I just love this name. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. Because in the Bible, the story of Hezekiah is that every single prayer request he had, was answered in his favor. So he had just great prayer life, and for some reason God granted him more years to his life when he asked. The nickname part is a little weird, because like, what would you call him? Would you call him Hezi or Kaya? So that's just a little, I think I do know one who they call him Zeke, and I do like that. But yes, Hezekiah is just a nice sounding name to me, and with a great story behind it. The third boy name, Roman. I have a friend, just one, that I know named Roman, and I feel like it's not common, but obviously people know of it because it is the term for someone who's in Rome or a citizen of Rome. We love Roman history, we love Roman culture, so that would be a great option, Roman, but I don't think my husband's gonna go for it. The fourth name that I like, but we won't be using, is the name Michael. I just love Michaels. Like, I know so many Michaels, and I think it's a good name. I actually don't know very many baby Michaels right now, so it might be a good time that we're snagging that young generation to be named Mike or Mikey or Michael. Maybe it could be Michelangelo and then you call him Michael for short. I don't know. Okay, and then the last name that for boys' names that I like but we won't be using is the name John. Now, my husband has been pushing this name on me forever, and I always said, it's just too common. There's just so many Johns out there. It's just John Doe. It's like the most common first name for a boy. But honestly, it's getting less and less popular for the young babies, and people aren't naming their babies John, so it might be one of those names that kind of like skips a generation, and it might work. But I haven't been convinced yet. So I like it, but I'm not quite convinced on it as a name for a boy. So I hope you guys like my list of names that I like but won't be using, so feel free to snag them. And I'd love to hear some of your ideas of what you thought about the names, and maybe just see what your favorite names are, and maybe I'll be able to put that in my little bucket list of possible names in the future. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!